This is my amazing giant Ficus Alii. Not sure how you say it. However, this thing, that's a 12-foot ceiling. So it's not small. It's probably 6, 7 foot. The pot's pretty huge. I mean, that's massive. That's 4.5 feet across and I don't know, almost over 3 feet tall. So the pot's huge. You take, yeah, it's probably 7 foot tall from where it comes out of the ground in the pot. This was 16 foot tall, but as you can see, I cut all that down. All the growth on here is new growth since I got it. And what I'm working on is getting thicker, this thicker growth on the bottom and kind of thinner at the top. So I've been cutting it back quite a bit up there while letting it thicken out down here, making these ones angle straight out. And there's a couple spots where I'm grafting, just, I guess it's not really thread grafting, but kind of. It's been about 4 or 5 months, but already the left side of the root's getting thicker than the right side. So the right side is where it comes out of the tree. That's where it's gonna graft onto these roots, and it already is getting nutrients from that, but I don't think it's strong enough to take the wire off yet. But it will be. I think give it a year, and that will be. But yeah, this is. I would have cut it shorter, but there were too many roots, too many really neat roots, going all the way up to the top. So there's no reason to do that. I mentioned this in the past video. My kids and I are going to make like an avatar tree out of this, like build little tree houses up in there, and at some point I'm going to dig this out. I've only had it, I guess, a little over a year, and so I haven't repotted this thing yet, so I don't know what it's like under the soil, but I bet there's a lot I can do once I actually dig that out. But idea obviously is to make this look like an old banyan tree, and these you used to not be able to see. The tree was a foot taller like a week ago, but I chopped it down, and I'm gonna wire all those branches up there down around those chop points. I may carve them out at some point too, but basically just hide them. So the tree will be a little shorter than it currently is because I'll wire all those branches down so they cover up where it was hacked off. So really it'll look like this old ancient banyan tree, which is cool. This Jade is, I mean, massive. That's at least 3 inches across there. And I picked that up for $60. It was just huge, and cut it all back to give it some actual structure. Now, this thing, it's pretty cool. It's got, left a couple of these branches hanging. Let's see if I can zoom out. It's gonna be neat when it fills out. I'll develop kind of pads in there. This, I'm attempting a Christmas tree bonsai. I just chopped all this, so it's yet to put out any new growth out of this. We'll see if I killed it or if it'll come back. Those are cuttings from a pencil tree cactus that I had. This is a beer bottle tree cactus. This thing's, I've never seen anything like this, but I saw it in a plant nursery, so I picked it up. I can't remember what that thing's called. This was that type of jade, whatever that's called. I don't know, but I've recently chopped it up to give it a more of an ancient tree kind of structure. Now I'm letting it bud back out, which it's just starting to. And some of the stuff I don't even know what all that is. This is a neat stand this was a much bigger group, and it's a neat jade. I don't know what they call it, but smaller leaves, really tightly packed leaves, making that into more of a stand of trees. This is my office with my cichlid tank, my see-through cichlid tank. That's the rest of our basement. This has been my collection of very colorful cichlids that I've built over the last couple years. Got some cool stuff too that aren't cichlids. Dang glare. I don't know how to stop it. It's a leaf fish. He's big too. Not that this is a video about fish, but these are some pretty neat. Got archer fish up there. It's a group of 3 of them. Some really neat plecostomus that if I could find them, I don't know where they are right now. Anyway, this isn't about fish. That is a pencil tree that I packed in a suitcase from Florida, but it's probably 2.5, 3 inches thick at the base. Turning that into attempting. I don't know how it's attempting to turn it into a bonsai. That was actually a cutting off that big giant ficus that I had out in the garage. That's about 2.5 inches thick. I just chopped that sucker off and put some rooting hormone on it, and it is. I just trimmed it back, but it was much bushier before, but I just trimmed it back. This one is microcarpa ficus that I'm gonna eventually put some of its cut. This I just trunk chopped it, replanted its trunk, which I have somewhere. Oh, that's this. This was, I replanted the trunk. It's about 1 foot of it below the surface there, and it actually is bonding back together. I'm just messing around with that. It doesn't really look like a real bonsai, but this is again kind of a massacred umbrella tree that's will look good someday. Yeah. Anyway, some of my other really cool stuff's upstairs, but not going up there in this video. Mainly, it was to show that big giant ficus that's out in the garage.